Hey everybody, it's Will from the Back 40. The numbers are in regarding what's going to happen to health insurance costs in rural America without ACA credits that were cut in the big beautiful bill. And I'm going to share those numbers with you this morning. If you want to get a really in-depth understanding of the cuts and the impact they're going to have on rural America, I would encourage you to go to the Progressive Farmer and read this policy blog from Chris Clayton, one of their writers there. The article is entitled, "Rural America Could See Steep Health Insurance Hikes Without ACA Credits." Chris does a great job of breaking down the issue and talking about what the impacts in rural America will be. I also want to thank our friends at the National Rural Health Association who put together some very specific data regarding the impacts of these cuts on rural American healthcare. First, let's talk about what these credits mean for rural America, just exactly how they work. Now, the way these tax credits work is really quite simple. When you file for insurance under the ACA, you're allowed to put in what you believe your projected income is going to be for the next year. And based on that income, you receive tax credits that are paid directly to the insurance company that lower the overall amount you have to pay for insurance during the course of the year on a monthly basis. At the end of the year, your income that you reported at the beginning of the year is matched against what your actual yearly income was, and if there are any adjustments that need to be done at that time, they're made in the amount of tax that you owe or the amount of tax that's refunded back to you. Now, these tax credits that I'm referencing expire on December 31st of this year, and you're going to see an immediate impact regardless of where you are in America, but particularly in rural America when you go to apply for health insurance under the ACA. The biggest impact you're going to see immediately, and the one that is impacting me as well, is you're likely to see a doubling. That's right, a doubling of your health insurance premium costs. Now, just to give you an example, I've got pre-existing conditions. My insurance costs me right now $1,800 a month. Under these cuts, that could go to $3,400 to $3,600 a month. Guys, listen, I've talked about this before on my lives and in other videos. I don't really care how well off you are. $3,400 a month for health insurance is going to be a bridge too far for a lot of people in this country, including me. Now, the other thing a lot of people aren't talking about is that these increases are going to be even higher in rural America than they are in urban areas of this country because we're eliminating something called EPTCs. And these EPTCs give rural America about a 28% additional savings compared to the rest of the United States in overall purchasing power in the ACA. So not only will we see our premiums double as a result of these cuts, there could be an additional 28% added on to the cost as well. But this is going to be the most devastating impact. Rural America is going to see a 30% drop in overall ACA coverage, and we could see as high as a 37% increase in the number of people in rural America that are left uninsured. Now, I can already hear some of you keyboard warriors cracking your knuckles and warming up your typing fingers to come into my comments and say, well, this is what rural America voted for. Just do me a favor. Make your own video making that case and put it on your own page. I'm not interested in seeing it here because the 40 to 45% of us that have been fighting like hell for change in this country in rural America over the last 25, 35 years, we don't need you painting us with that broad brush. And if children losing health care and elderly people who no longer are able to vote because they're in long-term assisted living with dementia, etc., well, if those things don't break through your FAFO bubble or shell, I don't know what will. But again, just keep it on your own page. Now, the good news is there are two pieces of legislation in the pipeline that are designed to change these draconian measures and help ensure that people, not only in rural America, but across the country, can get the health care that they need. And I'm going to talk to you about both of those right now. The first one is Senate Bill 46 and House Resolution 247. It's called the Healthcare Affordability Act of 2025. This bill would permanently lower healthcare costs for millions of Americans by permanently extending those marketplace EPTCs that I talked about. The other one is HR 247 in more detail, the Bipartisan Premium Tax Credit Extension Act in full. This act would extend Affordable Care Act Marketplace enhanced premium tax credits through 2026. Both of these are intrinsic intrinsic to ensuring that rural America and other parts of the healthcare system get the funding that they need in order to get insurance in the upcoming year. If you want more information about these pieces of legislation and the impacts of these healthcare cuts on rural America, I'm going to encourage you to go to the National Rural Health Association website. And right on their front page, they have a link to a one-pager that shares this information. Listen, guys, we're all in this together. The truth of the matter is, whether you live in rural America or urban America, these cuts are going to have a huge negative impact on all of us. They're draconian. And remember, this is all being done in an effort to be able to guarantee tax cuts and tax breaks for billionaires. And in America, we can do a lot better. So do me a favor today. Call your congressperson and tell them that you support House Resolution 247 and that you want them to vote for it today. And call your United States Senator and tell them the same thing. You want them to support Senate Bill 46 today to save health care, not only for rural America, but for the country as a whole. Have a great day, everybody.